Hey, I've got another video regarding several other topics. You know they're putting up a Black Power statue, a fist raising up, praising socialism and communism. That makes, according to what I'm seeing online in the news, they show the construction of it and raising it up. But apparently they leave up Lyndon B. Johnson statues and even leave up a KKK member statue and a leader of a KKK group. A leader in the KKK group, they leave his statues up, but that's because he was Democrat. Does that make any sense? That they leave statues? You can look this stuff up. They leave statues of Lyndon B. Johnson and KKK members because they were Democrat. That's okay. Liberal, that was okay. Which not all Democrats are liberal, not all liberals are Democrats, not all conservatives are Republican, not all Republicans are conservative, GOP and all that. It's the Tea Party, and there's different groups, but it's all. I've never seen such divide amongst the two sides in my life. One side being so extreme one way and the other side being so extreme the other way. I've never seen that in my life. Not even. Never. But here's another thing. From what I hear, since they removed Teddy Roosevelt, Theodore Roosevelt's statue from the very front of the History of Natural Museum. The Museum of Natural History, I mean. Did I say History of Natural Museum? Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? The Museum of Natural History. Now, why would you remove Teddy Roosevelt? Teddy Roosevelt was the first president to bring a black person, a person of African descent, living in the United States of America, and he brought them in to the White House to have dinner with him. He was the first president, they say, to do that. And yet they want his statues removed. It has nothing to do at this point with racism. It has nothing to do with it. It's under the guise of racism and fighting for unity, but it's become something completely different. Look at Antifa and all of these other things. It's doing what they were trying to do to begin with, and bring in socialism and bring in division, bring in and divide everyone. Because once they start calling for the removal of Jesus Christ statues, Mary statues, anything to do with the Lord, when they start asking for the removal, I mean, yes, I believe we're heading into a very important time and we need to unite more than ever. I have felt a spiritual enlightenment and energy since I was a child, but seeing what's happening right now, I see that we are closer than ever to the important pivotal points in existence, and the Lord's coming. I feel it strongly, but I just want to say that there was a black woman that came to me just before all this happened and said that he's coming soon, and she talked about how important I was in sending a message, and I feel like I need to put out a message. I need to share what's going on. And if you're watching this, you're probably already aware of all of this. But destroying these statues and just vandalizing history and erasing it has nothing to do, at this point, it has nothing to do with equality and unity, but rather feeding into the agenda of division, divide, that's it, and control. Bringing everything back to the way they wanted it. Right now, you look at the historical documents. Theodore Roosevelt allowed a black person to have dinner with him, and they're getting rid of his statue. And he was very close friends with black people. They're even vandalizing some statues of Abraham Lincoln now, at this point, who created the Emancipation Proclamation to begin with. Secondly, I had never heard of Juneteenth. I had never heard it mentioned, and all of a sudden they're talking about it and saying that it's been taught, that they've been celebrating it forever. I had never heard of that. I don't know if that's an ME situation or what, but I'd never heard of it. But that's not what this video is about. Another thing that we see happening, they were removing George Washington statues because they claim the founders of this nation were racist and filled with hate And this country was founded on that. So they just want to remove even the founding fathers. They want to remove all of them. So they decided to destroy George Washington, Teddy Roosevelt, Andrew Jackson, now releasing several Nixon tapes so they can compare him to this administration, and now trying to just bring divide. That's what they're doing. But bringing up a Black Power statue, how does that help? And putting up the symbol of socialism and communism in the middle of that police-free zone. And they raised up a Black Power statue, a fist raising up, saying to bring in communism and socialism. That's no better. That's hate. And it doesn't make any sense. The people that they... Well, I'll get into all that for another video. But there's a bigger agenda at play, and they're infiltrating themselves into this so-called movement in order to bring out an agenda. Bring in an agenda of more control in a different direction. And removing Jesus statues like that makes no sense. It does if you want to bring in the lawless one and replace them with all of his, yeah, you know what I'm talking about, what's coming. But how was Teddy Roosevelt racist when he was the first president to allow a black person to have dinner with him in the White House? But yet they're leaving statues of KKK members, leaders, and a racist president of the past up? That doesn't make any sense. It makes no sense. At this point, it's not about racism. It's about divide and feeding into agenda of erasing everything that already is. Just erasing it. And bringing in the dark control. It's not about love. Please, see through. If you're out there watching this and you're on the fence about it, see through the lies. Open your eyes and see through the lies. I love you all so much, and I hope to be with all of you on the next side of eternity. I love you all so much, and I love you all. I love you all. I love you all. We're in some very pivotal, important times. And I'll get into more topics later. It's crazy.